Before the assembly, the commendation came while members were commenting on the judgment which was presented by the leader of the House, Honorable Major Jack, under a statement by the leader. The document, which was received and adopted as a working document of the House, cited prosperous movement comments from members who described the judgment as the face of constitutional democracy. Commenting on the judgment, the Speaker, Right Honorable Martin Samehule, said, why face of July 2024, Governor Fubara was spending money of the state without approval, hence the declaration of the shutdown of expenditure. Yet the governor, in his characteristic manner of disobeying judgment of court, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and extends law, has continued to circumvent the law, and with the aid of permanent secretaries and some individuals who parade themselves as commissioners, added that they will certainly have a date with the law. Speaking further, the Speaker thanked members for their steadfast and urged them to continue in their defense of democracy, adding that those who tempered on the country's governance will be made to account for their malfeasance. Pandemonium happened in Isiokpo, headquarters of the Ikwere local government area, on Monday when policemen dispersed workers with gunshots and tear gas sinister. The policemen were spotted in several parole vans as they stormed the secretariat in the commando style, shooting sporadically to disparate workers who stormed for steadfast, while the incident prevented workers of the council from resuming work after such a decisive directive was passed down from the National Union of Local Government Employees. The Ikwere local government area was the worst affected during the attack on some councils in the state by suspected political talks after the local government elections, and since then the council and two others have been under lock and keys to prevent a repeat of the arson and violence that greeted the reopening of the council headquarters by the police. An eyewitness says source of workers, including two women, were injured while trying to escape from the scene of the shooting, adding that many flee into nearby bushes for safety. And the Chief of Staff of Ikwere local government area, Richard Henry, confirmed the incident, saying there may be some casualties because many of the workers ran into the bush. Spokesperson of the State Police Command, Grace Ringikoko, said the Ikwere LG secretariat was closed following the arson because it was one of its worst hits. Information reaching our news desk indicates that detectives attached to my 1 Divisional Police Headquarters, Port Harcourt, have rescued a 6-month-old male child, Lucky Sunday, kidnapped by one Mr. Erica, the child's parent, co-tenant by 25 Anele Kenny Street, My 2 Diop, on Sunday, 29 September 2024. Recall that Mr. Erica adopted a 6-month child belonging to his co-tenant and ran away to Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Detectives from my 1 Police Division trailed the suspect Erica to Uyo, arresting him and brought him back to Port Harcourt 2 weeks ago. Erica was said to have sold the baby for 500,000 naira. Sources disclosed to our news desk that the prime suspect revealed to the police during interrogation that the person who brought the child took the child to Enugu State. Following discreet investigation, the detectives attached to my 1 Police Division rescued the child on Sunday, 3rd November 2024, and arrested the female buyers and 4 other suspects, bringing the total to 6 suspects who are currently detained at my 1 Police Station, Port Harcourt. Meanwhile, rights advocate Prince Wiro, who is also the national coordinator of Center for Basic Rights Protection and Accountability, has commended the police officers for their hard work and due intelligence in rescuing of child and arrest of 6 suspects. Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested a former governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, over the alleged division of diversion of 1.3 trillion derivation fund. The 1.3 trillion naira amounted to a 13% derivation fund from the Federation account between 2015 and 2023, and Okowa was at the EFCC office in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, to answer the allegation before he was subsequently arrested by the officials of the commission. When contacted, the EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale confirmed this arrest but declined further comment on the matter. Embattled Deputy Governor of Edo State Godwin Omobayo has been ordered to appear in person before an Abuja Federal High Court on November 26. The court ordered Omobayo to appear over alleged disobedience to the court's judgments. Justice James Omotosho in a ruling held that the order was to give Omobayo, the alleged commendor, fair hearing and the opportunity to defend himself in line with the Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution. The reinstated Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu, has filed a contempt charge for Omobayo to be committed to prison for refusal to vacate office despite the valid court's judgment. Justice Omotosho had on July 17 voided the impeachment of Shuaibu as the Deputy Governor of Edo State by the House of Assembly. The judge in his judgment ordered his reinstatement to office on the ground that the Edo House of Assembly failed to comply with due process in the purported impeachment. The judge also held that the allegation on which the Assembly based on impeachment proceedings was unattainable in laws and did not constitute gross misconduct. Delivering the ruling, Justice Omotosho adjourned the matter until November 26 for hearing. Analysts believe that until the formal petition is made to EFCC, Obaseki cannot be investigated. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a security expert Jekon Ojo maintained that until stakeholders petition EFCC to investigate the finance of the Edo State government, nothing can be done about the matter.
Somebody said they are blaming the EFCC. The EFCC has not arrested, EFCC has not intervened, all this and that. Have they made any allegation to the EFCC? EFCC is just like court of law. If there is no prayer before a judge in a court, what do you expect the judge to do? If there is no allegation, petition against the government of Edo State by certain persons, stakeholders, to EFCC, how do you expect EFCC to come and to go for arrest? No. Now they are possible.
Chief Jackson advised the Edo State governor to welcome the development as a means to prove his innocence against the allegation of the financial mismanagement by his administration.
Obaseki should be very, very happy and welcome the development, whereas the EFCC are strong into action now to arrest. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Because if you do not commit an offense and EFCC is coming, you have not committed any financial crime, EFCC is coming, at the end of the day, there is no way the EFCC will come and implant something in the record of the administration. No. At the end of the day, let EFCC come, it will even make you come out cleaner. Right. At the end.
Recall on Sunday, group of political leaders and stakeholders in Edo State asked the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to investigate officials who have served under Governor Godswill Obaseki's administration for the last 8 months. A leading opposition party in Cross River State has stated in Calabar that last weekend's local government council election were monumental fraud ever before witnessed in the state. State chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Venatus Ikem, who signed a statement, said the state never in the political history of Cross River State have the electorate witnessed a kind of monumental electoral fraud perpetrated on Saturday. Ikem alleged that from the outset, the processes for conducting the polls were swing to favor the ruling All Progressive Party. According to him, from the competition of the electoral unfair, friends and relatives of the government officials were installed to do their bidding. He stated that they had underestimated the charted that the electoral unfair was organizing in the name of the local government election. The party alleged that the ruling party, using the State Independent Electoral Commission, deliberately held and diverted election materials meant for the elections in the state to facilitate massive rigging. Governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, on Monday sworn in Abia's 17 local government chairmen elected last Saturday, with a charge for them to run the LGAs with the vision of Abia first and continue to work for the socio-economic transformation of Abia State from various LGAs. The major are Timothy Iheke, Abia North, Anaoyu Obiolo, Abia South, Okereke Ezeoro, Arochukwu, Uwabonke Oyi Basi, Bende, Dr. Tony Uwaobani, Ikwono, Innocent Uragba, Isialangwa North, Nadozie Nwagwangwa, Isialangwa South, and Chinedu Ekeke, Isukwato. In his speech titled Development on a New Philosophy of Leadership, he asked them to solve the basic problems that have bedeviled the people in the various communities of 4H. The Abia State Electoral Commission had on Sunday presented certificates of return to the newly elected majors of the 17 LGS in the state, 15 ZLP and 2 YPP winners, presenting the certificates of return at the Abiazik headquarters in Umoya. The chairman of Abiazik, Professor George Shima, charged the majors to align themselves with the good job Governor Alex Oti is doing in the state, adding that Abia needs a holistic representation and good governance. Responding on behalf of the orders after the swearing in, the mayor of Isuokwato, Chinedu Ekeke, assured that they will work in line with Oti's vision for the state. Lagos State Emergency Management Agency has confirmed that the market around Ajah area of the state was engulfed by fire, destroying shops and goods worth millions of naira. Olufemi Oke Osayetulu, Permanent Secretary of the agency, confirms this in a statement on Monday. According to him, the fire incident occurred on Sunday night at Ajah Market by the Leshi bus stop in Lekki, Lagos. He further stated that there was no casualties or injuries recorded at the incident scene. He added that the properties worth of fortune were destroyed in the inferno, and the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service were able to curtail the fire from escalating to adjoining buildings. Osun State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of a man identified as Saidi for the alleged murder of a father, Bella, in his farm at Ilusi, Osun State. The Osun Police spokesperson Yemisi Okpalola, who confirmed the arrest, disclosed that investigation has commenced into the matter. Okpalola said the suspect was arrested on the suspicion that he killed the father. I have been briefed about its investigation is ongoing. ATM gathered that Saidi had discapitalized its father, Bella, on his farm on the day he was to begin harvesting his products. A resident of the village, simply identified as Sakariyu, said the bell went missing last Thursday, and after a thorough search around the village, his corpse was found on his farm the following day, covered with leaves. Osun State House of Assembly has passed lotteries and gaming bills and the Estate Agency Regulatory Authority bill into law. Both bills were passed into law during a plenary session presided over by the Speaker of the Assembly, Adewale Agbaidun. The passage of the both bills, Speaker Agbaidun said, will mark another notable achievement in the Assembly's legislative agenda. ATN gathered that from a statement issued by the spokesperson to the Speaker, Olamide Taimiyu, said the lottery and the gaming bill sponsored by the Speaker aim to establish Osun Lotteries and Gaming Board, a regulatory framework that harmonizes all laws relating to lotteries gaming activities within the state. The statement also revealed that the bill seeks to ensure transparency, ethical practices, and compliance among operators in the gaming industry. Speaker Egberdon highlighted the importance of the bills in promoting transparency and accountability in their respective industries. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has expressed optimism that the Ondo State governorship election on November 16 would be successful exercise. Yakubu said the commission has learned its lesson from the last governorship election in Edo State in September and other previous elections in the areas of logistics and results management during elections. The chairman stated this on Monday during his visit to the state headquarters of commission in Akure, the state capital. On his commission to the state, the INEC boss explained that he was in Ondo to assess the preparation of the Ondo State office of the commission ahead of the November 16 poll. He said the commission have received positive reports from our state office in Akure, but we decided also to come for readiness assessments. So we are here basically to look at what is happening and the good work that the state office has done. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State has assured workers in the state that his administration has no plan to downsize. Aiyedatiwa made the promise on Monday in Akure during the Ondo State Public Service Week celebration. A lecture with the theme Creating and Managing a Future Ready Public Service, a pathway to sustainable development. The governor also assured the workers of his administration's commitment to promote and regulate payment of salaries, allowances, and pensions. Aiyedatiwa, while assuring the workers of the payment of the new minimum wage, congratulated them for the 2024 celebration. Earlier, the head of the service, Mr. Bayo Phillips, appreciated the governor for his moral and physical support towards the welfare of public servants in the state. Philip thanks the governor for the constant payment of workers' salaries, key appointments, and the promotion of over 5,040 civil servants in the state. He stressed that the essential role of the public service in fostering forward-thinking governance and highlighted the administration's commitment to regular salaries payments, pensions, and the provision of 2024 leaves bonuses. Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has described as timely the decision of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to provide vehicles in the nation's capital beginning from January 2025. Wike has recently announced plans by the Federal Capital Territory Administration to gradually phase out tricycle operating in a part of the Abuja city center. The minister also disclosed plans to conduct security profiling of commercial buses and taxi operators within the FCT, adding that they must also operate with the Abuja taxi color. Supporting the move, Ariwa expressed fear that the police or the departments of the state service must ensure that this exercise of venting or profiling commercial drivers is not converted to avenues for coordinated exploitation and extortion of drivers. The group proposed to FCC administration to set up a digitalized and computerized office for the purpose of the security profiling of the commercial drivers, suggesting that the office be made up of staff drawn jointly from the FCT commands of the Nigerian Police Force, the FCT Coordinated Directorate of Departments of the State Service, FCT commands of the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, and Nigerian Immigration Services. It warns against the imposition of the fees payable by the drivers whose security profiles are to be captured, noting that unscrupulous individuals, agents, or criminals baron could infiltrate the corrupt the system. Scores of Nigerian gathers in Abuja on Monday to launch a large-scale protest over the escalating fuel costs, chronic fuel shortage, and mounting economic hardship, led by Abdullahi Bila of the 2 Million Man March Against Oil Scam Cable and Barrister Napoleon Otachi and Olayemi Isaac for citizens and economic freedoms rights activists in Nigeria. The demonstrators demanded immediate action to address what they describe as failed leadership in managing the country's oil sector. Central for the protests were grievance over skyrocketed fuel price and the never-ending queue, which they argue had driven inflation and plunged millions of Nigerians into poverty. The demonstrators condemned the current fuel subsidy regime, claiming it has only served to enrich a selected few while leaving the majority struggling with the high price. They call for fuel deregulations in the oil sectors to ensure transparency, competition, and fair fuel pricing. Protesters also decried the importation of adulterated fuel, which they had said is a corrupt practice that harms citizens by damaging vehicles and businesses. They demand that an immediate halt to this import and accountability for those responsible, questioning how substandard fuel continues to enter the country despite quality control assurance. They urge President Bola Tinubu to intervene by overhauling leadership in the oil sector, enforcing greater accountability and putting citizens' needs first. The protesters vow to continue mobilizing until their demands for reform and transparency are met. FCT Minister Barrister Yesom Wike has assured quality work on ongoing project in the FCT Week of Project Flag-Off. He has also responded to the emergency call to resolve problems of compensation and reinstatement on the project site of Lifecam and Katampe district and a visit to the ongoing rehabilitation of International Conference Center in Abuja City Center. In an interview with the journalists on Monday after the inspection, the minister expressed satisfaction on the work of the contractors handling an ICC and assured that the project would be completed by April next year, giving the country an international standard conference center in capital city of Nigeria.
It's not a question of what I want, it's in line with the new agenda. We went to life camp, we tried to see the obstruction that may delay the finishing of that job, but by the grace of God, that has been sorted out. We believe in those 2 days, the communities or those who own some crops would have been compensated. And you know that job is there by Jonas Beggar. You can see the quality, you can see the reaction of the people there, how happy they are. We also went to Katampe, where CGC is doing, and we have to extend what I would call the scope of the contract, because it will be more meaningful. If it links to end-to-end, it will be more meaningful. And the contractors have agreed that they will see completed, even if an additional job, they will see completed at time schedule, that is May next year. So we're happy with that commitment.
Speaking on the number 5 and number 16 road in Lifecam and Katampe districts, Wike revealed that he has directed the extension of the arterial road within the cadastral zone B07 in Katampa district to further link it to the arterial road in Jai district, which is said underscores the need for the relocation of the communities to pave way for the project.
And then we're here, this is the International Conference Center. You remember that when the president came to inaugurate the ECOWAS Parliament, it was embarrassing for Nigeria as a giant of Africa not to have a befitting international conference center. And therefore, Mr. President directed immediately that we must have to rehabilitate it and bring to international standard of what we call international conference center. And what I've seen John Brigadier, I'm quite satisfied that by the grace of God, April next year, they will have a project that will be available for Nigerians to use. But what is important is that yes, we are going to have back what is called international conference center that can meet the standard of any other international conference center in the world. So I'm quite happy with what we are seeing. And all these things are geared that must be completed during the second year anniversary of Mr. President. By the grace of God, some of the projects will be outlined, President will be able to, say yes, in these 2 years, a lot of things have happened in Abuja. So we're very happy.
Meanwhile, the FCT minister had concluded plans to compensate communities affected by the roadworks and have also directed the FCDA, the Department of the Resettlement and the Compensation, to expedite action on the plans and work strongly with the relevant stakeholders to ensure that compensation is applied where necessary.
First of all, the one we went to Katabe, the life camp has to do majorly with the crops. And then there are some small houses that we need to compensate them to see whether, if it requires relocating them, we will do. If it requires just compensation, we will do. It depends on what is available. But what's important is that we are working together with the various communities. That is what is important to us. The aim of Mr. President, the relief agenda, is that we should have a city that looks like other cities. Remember, when we came on board, virtually everything was idle, nothing was going on. And by the time we finished, Mr. President finishes his first term, you will know that really Abuja can compete with any other city in the world, and which is very, very basic. And that's what we want to achieve. That's what we want to achieve, and we believe that we're going to achieve that.
Nasarawa State Independent Electoral Commission has officially presented certificates of returns to the 13th newly elected chairman of the local government areas in Nasarawa State. The ceremony held at NASIC headquarters on Monday marked the culmination of the local government polls in which the All Progressives Congress APC claimed all 13 chairmanship positions. During the ceremony, NASIC chairman Ayuba Husman Wanaidi described the election as a transparent and credible process that reflected the will of the people. The APC dominated the elections, winning 140 out of 147 chairmanship positions across the world. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, secured 5 councillorship seats, while the Zenith Labour Party, ZLP, won 2. Wandai expressed gratitude to all stakeholders, including security agencies, traditional rulers, and inter-party advisory councils, and the media for their contribution to the peaceful and orderly conduct of the election. He also acknowledged the support from Governor Abdullahi Sule and the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, which he said was instrumental to ensuring the success of the polls. Bandits have attacked the Turare community in Dusinma local government area of Katsina State. The bandits adopted an activist Ibrahim Mai Kaitia during the invasion. While the activist was shot, his 2 wives were adopted to an unknown destination. Kaitia is known for his advocacy for good governance and has been a vocal and critical voice in effort to improve the region. Banditry, kidnapping and terrorism have been on the rise in Katsina for the last few years, with many attacks unreported. The state government, led by Omar Diko Rada, has also ramped up efforts aimed at addressing the situation with the creation of Katsina Vigilante Service, a community policing initiatives. The latest attack is an indication that more needs to be done to reverse the trend. Kaduna Police Command says it has rescued 2 kidnapped victims and recovered 283 Russell cows and 20 sheep. The statement by the command's PPRO ASP Amansa Hassan said 5 suspects were also arrested. He said on the 31st of October 2024, operatives from the anti-kidnapping unit led by SP Sani Ibrahim Zone 2 acted on credible intelligence leading them to remote areas in Gora village, where they arrested the suspect and retrieved their livestock suspected to be stolen. The statement named those arrested as Danjuma Halaji Guna, 25-year-old, Sarah Shehu, 35 years old, Isaiah Abdullahi, 35-year-old, Abubakar Isaiah, 13-year-old, and Aminu Abdullahi, also known as Kano, 13. According to the statement, the suspect would face court proceedings after preliminary investigations. In another development, officers from Ikara Division responded to reports of suspected bandit activity near Kuyen Magaji Achehan village. It said upon arrival, the police engaged the bandits in a gunfight, prompting them to flee, while two kidnapped victims, Ibrahim Abdullahi and Hatfa Yusuf, were rescued and taken to the hospital for medical evaluation before being reunited with their families. Ahead of the upcoming festival season, the federal government, through the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, has launched a major road repair initiative to improve traffic flow across federal highway nationwide. During the flag-off of the Operation Connect to Your Destinations Phase 2 in Kano State, EFRMA Managing Director, Engineer Chuku Emeka Agbasi, outlined the project's target. By the end of the exercise, farmer aimed to paint 18,805 square meters of road surface, rehabilitated over 12,000 fell sections, complete 2,700 square meters of the road overlay, and make 635 kilometers of the road motorable. The agency also strategically mapped out the traffic-prone area, prioritizing them for maintenance to ensure the maximum positive impact on the road users. Abasi added that the project is expected to generate over 12,000 jobs, contributing to economic growth. Engineer Sani Abdullah, head of Farmers Direct Labor Department, noted that the road work has scheduled for completion by mid-December to avoid interruption during the Yuletide period. Kaduna State Federal Road Safety Corps Sector Commander Omar Matazu, represented by Deputy Corps Marshal Abdullah Sam Kabiru, welcomed the initiatives, urging drivers to exercise caution and drive responsibly once the maintenance is completed. You are watching The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Return after this break. Welcome back. This is a transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Analyst says that the detention of minor by the court for treason is against the human rights of the children. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Blowout, Alfred El Nino, a public affairs analyst, believes that children also have constitutional rights and therefore cannot be detained over a period of time or charged without due process.
Globally, in other parts of Africa, leave the Western developed world for now. In other parts of Africa, this cannot happen. That are holding minors. And if you look at it, these children have their constitutional rights as minors. You can't detain a minor for a specific time without going through the proliferings. But here in Nigeria, no? This is the only country where you see people contravening and also violating human rights laws vehemently, and nobody says anything. Can this happen in sub-Saharan Africa or North Africa? No.
On its part, social affairs analyst Barrett Joshua, citing the Children's Protection Act, stated that the actions of the Federation is contrary to the constitutional laws. 213
or so. That they engage what they've done is against it, because you don't give same punishment to a child that should mean for an adult to a child. These are children, these are minors, and looking at the video, you see that most of them are less than 18.
Recall Nigerians have expressed outrage over the arraignment of 76 suspects, including 32 minors, before Justice Obiaro Egwuaitu at the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court for participating in the End Bad Governance protest in August. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has directed that all the minors arrested and facing prosecution in court over their alleged involvement in the End Bad Governance protest should immediately be released without prejudice to the law. President Tinubu also directed the ministers of the Humanitarian Affairs and the Poverty Reduction to see the welfare of the minors. The Minister of Information and the National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents in Abuja. The minister said that the president said that all the law enforcement agents involved the arrest, detention and prosecution of the minors be investigated, and anyone found culpable would face appropriate disciplinary action. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in 7 newly appointed ministers at the council chambers, also Aso Rock Presidential Villa in Abuja. Those sworn in include Netawe Yotoda as the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Mohamedou Maigari Deyandi as the Minister of Labor and Employment, Bianca Odinaka Odumegwe Ojuku as the Minister of State Foreign Affairs. Others are Jumoke Oduwole, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Odi Motak Maiha, Minister of Livestock Development, Yusuf Abdullahi Ata, Minister of State, Housing and Urban Development, and Suwaiba said has the Minister of State Education. In his address to the minister, Tinubu asked them not to shy away from responsibilities. Monday's swearing-in came days after the appointment by President Tinubu and subsequently confirmation by the Senate. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration has been able to reduce the debt-saving burdens of the nation from 97% to 65%. Tinubu, while congratulating the new ministers for accepting us to serve the country at this challenging time, said they should be ready for abuse and criticisms from Nigerians, but must not lose focus on making lives better for over 200 million Nigerians. Tinubu said this on Monday while swearing in the 7 new ministers appointed into the cabinet recently. Among the new ministers sworn in are the Dr. Dentawe Yotauda as the Minister of Ambassador Bianca Odumeju Ojoku, the Minister of the States for Foreign Affairs, on Monday said that She was fully committed to the foreign policy thrust of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. The wife of the late Igbemba Nwayi, Dim Chukwu Emeka Odumeju Ojoku, was among the 7 new ministers that were administered with their oath of office by President Tinubu at the Council Chamber, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Speaking to State House correspondents after the swearing-in ceremony, Ambassador Bianca, who once won the most beautiful girl pageant in Nigeria, said that the country will be leveraging on the African continental free trade area to encourage and enhance its economic potentials. Asks what she would be bringing to the table based on the fact that she has served on foreign mission before, she promised to strengthen democratic institutions all over Africa. Also speaking to journalists, the Minister of Trade and Investment, Jumoke Odole, echoed similar sentiments regarding Nigeria's economic potential. Odumwole stressed the need to optimize the AFCTHT for Nigerians businesses and ensure that both domestic and foreign investment are returned. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has insisted that the outcome of the 2023 presidential election was manipulated by the ruling All Progressives Congress. Atiku asserted following an attack on him by the presidency over his criticism of the President Bola Tinubu's policy. Recall that the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party had, while lamenting the untold hardship benevolent citizens, said he would have done better if he has emerged as president in the 2023 general elections. In a swift response, Bayo Onuoga, Tinubu's media head, said Nigeria would have been worse off if Atiku had won. Onuoga mocked Atiku, saying Nigerians rejected him by voting for Tinubu. Reacting to Onuoga's outburst, Atiku, in a statement on Monday, said he did not lose the election. Office of the Accountant General of the Federation has confirmed the deactivation of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System for federal tertiary institutions. This follows the federal government's decision to remove these institutions from the IPPIS platforms. The Director of the Press and Public Relations at the OAGF, Bawa Mokwa, revealed this in an interview with The Nation. Mokwa stated it was only natural for the IPPIS platform for FTIS to be shut down, given the federal government's directive to remove these institutions from the system. He added that November salaries for FTIS would be processed through the government's integrated financial management information system. Institutions are required to prepare their payrolls in Excel format and submit them to IPPIS for verification and validation. In response to concern about possible charges to salary account details, the OAGF clarified that it has issued no directive instructing workers to change the financial institution link to their IPPIS account. Mokwa also emphasized that workers' welfare remain a top priority, assuring no misleading or panic-inducing instructions would be given. Court of Appeal in Abuja has discharged an acquitted former Chief Judge of Nigeria, Justice Walter Samuel Nkanu Onugane, from his convicted for false asset declaration by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Onugane, convicted handed down on April 18, 2019 by the Umar Yakubu Dalandi Tribunal, was overturned by the appellate court following the resolution of their issues that led to his trials and conviction. Justice Abba Bello Mohammed, in a judgment based on the theme of settlements adopted by the federal government and Onogun, ordered that the 4 bank accounts previously ordered to be fortified be returned to him. In a brief statement, Onogene lawyers Adeboyega Owomolo and Ogwa James Omoja, both senior advocates of Nigeria, expressed gratitude to President Tinubu and the Attorney General of the Federation for ensuring the resolution of the issues. Federal High Court in Abuja has issued an arrest warrant for the Managing Director of Dana Air, Mr. Hatari Mani, Ranishi due to his alleged failure to appear in court. The Attorney General of the Federation had filed a 6-count charges against Ranishi and 2 others. In count 1, Ranishi and the 2 companies alongside others at large were alleged to have committed a felony between September and December 2018 within the premises of a Dana steel rolling factory in Castina. They were also alleged to have conspired to remove, convert and sell 4 units of industrial of 9,000 kVA and 1 unit of 1,000 kVA, all valued at over 450 million naira, which form part of the deed of assets debenture that were charged at the collateral security for the bond issues on their favor, which deed is still subsistently at all materials time. In counts 3, the defendants and others at large at the house number 6116 Osho the Apapa Expressway, Isolo, Lagos, between April 7th and 8th, 2014 rather. Money was said to be part of the bond process from EcoBank means for the resuscitation of the production at Dana Steel Rolling Factory in Castina for another unapproved use. Justice Obiara Egwotu rules that Rashid's arrest was necessary after he was served with charges and failed to attend multiple court proceedings. The judge held that according to Section 184 of the Administration of the Criminal Justice Act 2015, the court is authorized to issue an arrest warrant for any defendant who does not show up. Justice Egwotu, who gave this ruling, orders that Rashid be arrested and brought to the court on the next adjourned date. And now to some business reports. Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has denied an allegation by Dangote Group that its members imported substandard petroleum motor spirit into Nigeria. Spokesperson of the hype man Chinedu Ukadike made this known in an exclusive interview with journalists on Monday. Dangote Refinery on Sunday accused petroleum marketers of importing cheaper substandard petrol into Nigeria. However, reacting, Okadike said the Dangote Refinery's claim is baseless and untrue. According to him, the issue of bad fuel had been resolved in Nigerian oil and gas sector. Last week, Friday, Atman hinted at plans to source cheaper petrol for Nigerian-made higher export price of Dangote petrol. Recall that upon the lifting of Dangote petrol on September 15, 2024, NNPCL hiked fuel prices. There have been a severe petrol price hike since then, which took fuel to between 1,225 naira and 1,300 per litre. Still ahead, international tidbits. Administration of Prime Minister Keir Starmer in the United Kingdom is planning to increase tuition fees in universities in the country are effective from September 2025. The increase is going to be the first in 8 years. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson is expected to announce the tuition fees rise in line with the retail price index inflation. The fee rise is expected to come into force from September 2025, meaning that it will affect A-level students who are currently applying to universities. Tuition fees have remained frozen at 9,250 euros since 2017. It is unclear which month's inflation figures the Labour Party government will choose to link fees to be matching them to the current rate of 2.7%, would see fee rise to about 9,500 euros from next year. Previous reports suggested that the government would raise tuition fees to 10,500 euros over the next 5 years. The move follows growing concern that many institutions are now facing financial crisis, with 40% of English universities expecting to slam into the defeat this year. And now to sports news. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Immaculate Irekana. Join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. Also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress.